Thank you all for having me here today. I'm excited to talk with you about the Outdoor NC program, destination stewardship across the state of North Carolina, and the role that I play within that, as well as the role that you all can play within that. So to get things started, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on who Visit North Carolina is, and in the broader scheme of things, what we do as far as economic development for the state. So the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, or EDPNC, improves the economic well-being and quality of life for all North Carolinians. We do this with collaboration, state, regional, local, and private sector partners in new business recruitment, existing employer support, international trade and export assistance, as well as small business startup counseling and tourism promotion. We're proud to serve as the statewide economic development organization. We advance the economic interest of North Carolina's 100 counties and more than 10 million residents throughout collaboration with those state, local, regional, and private sector partners. Next. So within the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, I work in the tourism department, often referred to as Visit North Carolina. We have 5 departments that consist of 15 full-time staff members. Our other brands within Visit NC are Sports NC, Retire NC, Outdoor NC, and Film NC. But the overall mission of Visit North Carolina is to unify and lead the state in positioning North Carolina as a preferred destination for travelers and maximizing economic vitality statewide. Does anybody have any questions about who we are as an organization in the broader scheme of economic development in the state? Not yet? Okay, I'll continue on then. So North Carolina has long been known for its natural beauty, its soft adventure activities. And at Visit North Carolina, that's what we've been promoting for years. But with that, we understand there comes some responsibility of also taking care of those spaces. So a statewide program that will bring a larger voice to issues and awareness for both residents and visitors is what we came up with for our Outdoor NC program. Next. Yep. So Visit NC has strongly believes in the state of North Carolina, and the tourism industry partners are positioning to leverage North Carolina's unique outdoor recreation, agriculture, and heritage assets to outcompete our regional and national neighbors to protect our natural resources and build vibrant communities. It all started in 2021 when Visit NC, along with the North Carolina Office of Outdoor Recreation and Leave No Trace for Outdoor Ethics, partnered to create the Outdoor NC initiative and to share stewardship principles with visitors and residents alike. Outdoor NC is a part of our family of brands within Visit North Carolina and is managed by our partner and industry relations team in collaboration with Leave No Trace, Tourism Impact Services, and the Uproar Concept. The Uproar Concept being our design agency, and the Tourism Impact Services, we're going to touch a little bit on their work as I discuss further. But we really built on our success of the initial Outdoor NC initiative, recognizing an opportunity for our organization and the industry as a whole to really ramp up our stewardship and sustainability activities by investing in new and innovative programming to support industry partners. And to develop that programming, we partnered with Tourism Impact Services to really further develop that stewardship-oriented programming. Outdoor NC is based on research. It's designed with strategic vision, and it's built on partnership and then amplified with that unified state messaging. So Outdoor NC strives to preserve the unique places and experiences that make North Carolina a world-class destination through a strong commitment to stewardship. Outdoor NC has embarked on marketing activities to encourage visitors and partners to connect and engage with North Carolina in such a way that they're inspired to become stewards of our outdoor spaces for generations to come. This approach employs a multi-channel campaign that's inclusive of website, social media, and email outreach, all fully optimized and delivering cohesive content under a holistic plan. This has always been a partner-led destination stewardship initiative that's designed to educate and inspire the guests and residents to recreate responsibly, but it has grown since then. So through collaboration and planning, we realized we can encourage visitors to act responsibly during their visit and generate more value for the community. And this does go beyond just the outdoor spaces. We're fostering connections with an entire community, with the public sector, the civic sector, private sector. And we need to do that efficiently. So we have found ways to seamlessly integrate our programs into kind of those partner operations. We have mainly been focused on our tourism destination authorities as well as our destination marketing organizations, given our relationship with them and being Visit North Carolina. So really, they have been our marketing experts within those destinations. And we realize that using marketing as an effective stewardship tool, we can create that positive change. So we've been working with our partners to extend our calls to action aimed at fostering community and building momentum around the core concepts of destination stewardship in North Carolina, because we feel that the communication is a key concept and we can create that positive change and change that behavior and inspire responsibility, as well as engage with an audience that is already interested in the destination. So when we look at the Outdoor and Sea program as a whole, it was a multi-pronged approach to it. And since we are kind of that research-based marketing organization, we worked with Tourism Impact Services to develop the destination stewardship-oriented program, but research was the base of that. We didn't want to just assume any kind of programming would work in any context. Our intended outcome from that was not only to understand which stewardship and sustainability program are best in class and why, but also to learn about the preferences and needs of North Carolina industry stakeholders. So the Tourism Impact Services team analyzed global, national, state trends in tourism, outdoor recreation, and destination development. They also created a global trends report, which is available as part of the Outdoor and Sea program. But as you can see here, they evaluated 87 programs from destination organizations, national governing organizations, and universities around the world, also conducting interviews with our own staff and 42 individuals that are tourism stakeholders, and looking at an industry-wide questionnaire. And what we found is that tourism, we already know, is an important economic driver in North Carolina. And we asked our North Carolina tourism stakeholders their thoughts on the influence of tourism and what role it could play in supporting the long-term health of the local economy, environmental resources, and social well-being. And North Carolina stakeholders feel strongly that tourism plays a vital role in outdoor stewardship. As you can see here, over 95% agree that North Carolina tourism industry should do its part to maintain our outdoor spaces for enjoyment by the public. Also, that communications regarding responsible visitor and activities can have a positive outcome for residents. And it's important to elevate accessibility, inclusion, diversity, and equity in North Carolina. As we analyzed this data, a few things came into focus, which led to the evolution of the Outdoor and Sea initiative. First, we defined our 3 pillars for Outdoor and Sea, which is partnership, stewardship, and experiences. Within each pillar, we defined priorities and measurable activities to ensure Outdoor and Sea is best serving the state's tourism industry. These include engaging with statewide partners to understand industry needs and provide tools and resources to build capacity and leverage opportunities, really wanting to support industry partners through continuing education and experiential learning, performance recognition and promotion, as well as marketing and messaging support, and also inspire our tourism partners to be stewards of their communities, their surrounding natural environments, and the tourism industry, encouraging destination through stewardship, through establishing stewardship priorities based on international best practices, North Carolina's community needs, and industry opportunities, providing programs and resources to help industry partners enhance local quality of life and visitor experience, and recognize and celebrate partners that implement best practices and leading by example within the industry. And then, of course, at the root of it, promoting responsible visitation and going beyond that and regenerative experiences, as well as our accessible outdoor recreation. And then promoting and rewarding those experiences. So providing the tools to help our industry partners identify key assets and looking at accessible trails and things along those lines, providing tools to help industry partners promote that responsible visitation, as well as looking at like give back programs and what that looks like for a community. And then creating and distributing a special visitors guide that really does reward those within the industry that are doing their best when it comes to destination stewardship and these variety of tools here. So we expanded the Outdoor and Sea Initiative to further enhance those industry partnerships, the destination stewardship, and the visitor experiences, with our areas of focus being destination stewardship, which brings together the community allies to find a balance between residents' quality of life and visitor experience. The responsible travel, which encourages visitors to balance enjoyment of local heritage and nature with respect for community assets, as well as the sustainable tourism, which emphasizes industry operations that balance those economic returns with the social responsibility and environmental conservation, excuse me. And as we know, it really is all about balance. So to achieve these different priorities, we turned our attention to developing these 3 flagship programs: the Outdoor and Sea Partner Alliance, which is designed to educate guests and help stakeholders amplify responsible recreation, including utilizing the 7 outdoor and sea leave no trace principles, as well as the Accessible Outdoors program, which aims to increase information transparency so individuals can make informed decisions about exploring North Carolina's outdoor spaces based on their own abilities. This program includes a suite of tools which are free to all partners and stakeholders throughout the state, and it provides guidance and resources to help make North Carolina's destinations and outdoor spaces more accessible. It contains things like ADA asset inventory sheets, accessible outdoor communication guidance, as well as recorded webinars and more. Then there's the Trail Town Designation Program, which includes a guide. It is a digital guide right now, but that is to celebrate stewardship in trail towns. And that's helping destinations really activate and celebrate those stewardship activities. Destination stewardship brings together those community allies to find that balance between the residents' quality of life and guest experiences while preserving the natural and cultural resources. So investing in the stewardship, we understand, can have numerous benefits for both the places and the people that live there. This program provides destination marketing agencies, tourism development authorities, and others in the community with stewardship activation toolkit to really amplify their destination stewardship and then recognizing those efforts. So collectively, the overall objectives of the Outdoor and Sea program is to build that foundational knowledge about responsible recreation, accessible outdoors, and destination stewardship, as well as provide tools and templates to advance stewardship communications. And then we're actually creating a pipeline of content from these different destinations and you all to be amplified throughout our different marketing materials and raising awareness for the stories that you all have to tell when it comes to your destination. And that gets to our Trail Town Stewardship Program. This is, again, community-based stewardship programming. It starts off with some research and engagement. We had workshops throughout the year on the education side of it. And then we had our pilot program this year where we have 15 partners participate, which I'll dive a little bit deeper into as we continue on. But destination stewardship, we understand, is not a one-off activity. And the principles and practices really need to be a part of a destination's DNA and embedded into everything that we do. So with this Trail Town Stewardship Program, at its core, it's a quality assurance program that is helping scale up a collective impact and ensure a return on investment for you all. The more partners that participate, the more trail towns we can celebrate, and the more attention that we can generate. And the Trail Town Guide is certainly something that has value for promoting the towns and their trails and their local amenities to increase visitor spending. And then activating the destination stewardship activities and increasing awareness for inclusive and responsible travel best practices will also have lasting impact. So the Outdoor and Sea Trail Town Stewardship Program and the Trail Guide are really relevant for the entire state since everybody has trails. And we're really excited to share more about that. It is about stakeholder engagement and destination stewardship and making a strong point of differentiation for the North Carolina tourism industry. The program, as I mentioned, is suitable for all towns, all trails. The goal is that any town can participate and that North Carolina has a wide variety of trails. While some may focus on the trails that you may traditionally think of, like an outdoor space, there are nature trails, of course, heritage trails, as well as experiential trails. So anywhere that your destination can visit. I'm sorry, the light just went off in my room, so I'm going to wave my arms around and see if I can get the lights to come back on. Apologies about that. Hopefully you can still see me. But yes, so this is intended for all towns and all trails in North Carolina, all variety of trails. You don't have to have 100 miles of trails through a national park or a forest, but you might have a greenway or a historic walking trail or a heritage trail. All of these trails are important to telling the story of North Carolina. And it's more of our play on words for destination stewardship. We understand that we would need to kind of introduce this in an incremental way, as this is the first time we're aware of anybody trying to put all of these towns together, but to also incorporating the trails as well as incorporating the destination stewardship into it. But we do want to make sure that our Trail Town partners and those participating are promoting those responsible travel ethos and creating a more inclusive outdoor recreation and tourism industry, and that we're collectively celebrating the diversity of towns and trails around the state. So why did we select trails? Trails are increasingly popular and mean much more than just outdoor recreation. As I mentioned, trails can connect us to nature, community, culture, and history. And we saw that with the Year of the Trail in 2023, as well as all that great things that are taking place now with the Great Trail State and celebrating trails across the state. So North Carolina has so many different trails, 41 state parks, 14 National Park Service units, 5 federally designated wild and scenic rivers. We have 322 miles of ocean shoreline, 90 bodies of water, 600 golf courses. There's a variety of trails that could be attached to any one of these things, any number of these things. And additional funding for a grant program for trails is also growing, as is the number of trails that are taking place across the state. So how we were defining a trail town, that was very difficult. It was a lot of back and forth as far as our 15 partners that participated. What should a trail town program look like? What is a trail town? Traditionally, a destination or town has been identified as a trail town due to its proximity to a notable trail system and the visitor amenities it offers to a trail. And with the Trail Town program participation, it should have a return on investment by helping to increase visitor spending and improve trails and protect nature. So at a base level, we understood what a trail town tends to be, but we didn't really want to be traditional. We wanted to be a little bit unique and expanding that beyond maybe what would have been considered a traditional trail town. Our Trail Town Stewardship Program includes step-by-step participation and getting you onboarded with the program. It starts with attending workshops to learn about accessibility and outdoor recreation, destination stewardship and sustainable tourism, as well as stewardship communications, and then about initiating those stewardship activities. So those that participated in our pilot program this year created Join the Movement pages on their website. They did stakeholder mapping. They did different outreach to stakeholders in the community. They created an asset inventory, looking at what trails they had within their community, which ones were ADA accessible or labeled in that way, as well as developing local communications with the Outdoor and Sea Leave No Trace principles, the accessible outdoors, as well as destination trip tips. And then developing content for the Trail Town Guide itself to celebrate those initiatives that they had activated. So that was destination and stewardship description, trail identification, selecting 5 trails that they would like to highlight within communities, and then looking at links to celebrate that content and drive that downstream traffic to them and their destination. But they didn't do this on their own, and we would never want to turn you loose to do this on your own as well. We're here to support. We do have a toolkit for our Outdoor and Sea Alliance partners that includes marketing materials, but also we'll be rolling out October 1st with all of the different materials to be onboarded with getting the education side of the destination stewardship things to then kick it off and start working on the workshops and coming to those, looking in December, and then from there activating those different items within the workshop that was listed on the step-by-step process there. So we did have 15 partners that participated this year in our pilot program. They were willing to provide us with some constructive insights and help share their final design and ultimately the long-term success of what we're looking at for this program. They included great representation across the state from the mountains, Piedmonts, and the coast. And collectively, these TDAs represented nearly 50 towns in these counties. And this participation goes back to last November and December when we held 5 workshops across the state. We welcomed over 60 attendees, including our inaugural cohort here. Since those workshops, partners engaged with land managers and community stakeholders. They also engaged with local businesses. In fact, through the Trail Town program, we reached over 5,000 local businesses to encourage them to adopt sustainable tourism best practices and extended our call to action for customers to really join the movement and be a part of this as well. Our partners have developed those responsible travel pages, accessible outdoors inventories, the destination trip tips and itineraries, and we've collected info on over 100 trails and 50+ accessible outdoor assets to be included and identified in our promotions moving forward. So it really has been a great success in regards to that, just in general outreach and education around what destination stewardship is and engaging the community, because no one person can do this, but also everybody has their role to play. So it really is connecting and creating that community and what's best for your community as well. So this is just a screenshot of what the Trail Town Guide looks like. I will pause right here for any questions. I do have some other examples of what some of the communities have done and more about the program itself and just how you would get onboarded if this is of interest to you. But I did want to pause here and see if there were any questions I could answer.
There are no questions in the chat, but if anybody has any questions, please feel free to unmute and ask them now.
Okay, we'll continue on then. And then I'll show you some examples and talk through that a little bit as well. So we do have our responsible travel page. We had one partner who was talking about how destination continues to grow from a tourism and economic driver for their community, but that they had really specifically been looking at one primary thing or attraction as being that driver for that destination. So this helped them expand beyond what they were looking at, but doing so in a responsible way and highlighting their outdoor spaces. And I think this is where with the responsible travel, if you are talking about your outdoor spaces, making sure that that information does talk about the 7 principles as a reminder and having the consistent messaging across the state. That's if a visitor goes to the coast or the mountains or the central region of the state. And we do know that travelers from the mountains go to the coast. They're hearing that same message over and over and over again consistently, helping with that recall of that information. This is an example from McDowell County. where they're inviting at the top of the page for folks to join the movement. And then they have a listing of the 7 principles and how it's applicable to McDowell County. We also have Rockingham County, which invites those to join the movement. And if you are familiar with any of these different counties or partners, I would recommend you reach out to them, ask any questions of them. Being that it was the first year, we've of course taken their feedback as well. But if you are part of like the core program too, Rockingham was one of the partners that was part of the core program, and what they were working on for that easily played into what we were working on with Outdoor and Sea as well, and combining the two made the program that much stronger for them. Next. We also had our accessible outdoors landing page within our guide. We did have a West Virginia University student that we worked with to help develop some assets to help promote and share how your area is more accessible. And one of our partners in the mountain region of our state was just talking to me about how much that opened her eyes to just thinking about accessibility in a different light and things she may not have considered, especially when it comes to trails or outdoor spaces that we don't have as much control over or aren't the land managers of. How can we still provide information that makes it accessible for others, and learning about things from multiple perspectives? The Outer Banks is one of our partners who created one of the accessibility landing pages. Next. And we also have Go Gaston and Blowing Rock as well. And everybody is doing it a little bit differently as far as what the landing pages look like or how the information is included. But at the same time, they're keeping their tone and voice and their branding, but elevating the information in a way that is easily referenced, shareable, and help celebrating that inclusion of their destination and their outdoor spaces. So again, it's not just an experience in North Carolina, but encouraging others to embrace North Carolina and join a movement. It's a call to action for others to preserve our outdoor spaces for future generations to come. And to talk just about what the program is, the Accessible Outdoors option is available and free to everyone on our partners.visitandSee.com landing page. We also have our Outdoor and Sea Alliance Partner Program, which is the base level for participation to get to the Trail Town program. That includes the Leave No Trace language, the intellectual property to utilize that, as well as different tools available in our Outdoor and Sea toolkit, which I mentioned earlier, getting you access to those learnings, recorded webinars, toolkits like the ADA asset inventory, communication guidance around that, all sorts of different things. And then beyond that, there's additional marketing opportunities that come along with it, and cleanup kits, so ways to engage with your community, with your land managers, different tools like that, as well as you continue to move up from like a pioneer level to a champion level. And then on the next slide is our guardian level. This program runs on the fiscal year. It starts in July of 2024. So technically this program has already kicked off, but it does run through June of 2024. And we're going to be rolling out on October 1st all the suite of tools for that destination stewardship. So we'll start holding those workshops in December for those that want to participate in the Trail Town program, and really ramping things off. So even if you aren't a partner now, but are interested, you haven't missed out. You can still take part in being part of the Trail Town program if that's of interest to you.